Hello, friends. It's Malika again with another Coco in the Sun podcast. Um, so today, what I wanted to do was to go over chapter 2 of Bringers of the Dawn, and I was going through to highlight like the important sections, but like the whole section is so important. The whole chapter. So I decided I will just read the chapter until I get tired, and then we'll continue with the chapter again the next day. What do you guys think? Um, yeah, because there's none of it that I want to leave out. Like I feel it's all pertinent. Of course, you should listen to the audible of the book because you actually hear her like message, and maybe like it has some codes or frequencies that help with the understanding of the message. Of course, you should get the book for yourself because same reasons. It can have codes and stuff that help you understand. Or I wonder, can you see, have the mirror effect on this? I don't know. Why I can't see the book? Bringers of the Dawn by Barbara Marciniak. Barbara Marciniak. Marciniak. It's a good book. It really makes you think. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do today. I hope you guys had a great day and are full of love and joy. Anyways, so chapter 2 on Prime Creator's Journey. That's the name of the chapter. I think Prime Creator just means, some people might call it God or the universe, the source. I'm guessing. Okay, humanity is an experiment. Oh, yes, guys, I changed it back on because I thought it was very like galactic. And I find the book is a galactic book. Trying to go with the theme. Anyways, yes, chapter 2 on Prime Creator's Journey. Humanity is an experiment. Humanity has been designed, as has just about everything else that exists within creation. Prime Creator began experimenting with creation a long time ago in this universe for the purpose of greater self-exploration, self-gratification, and self-expression. Prime Creator brought energies and essences of life, extensions of itself, into this universe and endowed those extensions with the gifts that it had. It gave willingly and freely to its capabilities. It gave willingly and freely of its capabilities. There are many other universes and many other ways of designing universes. This particular one was designed in a free will zone in which all would be allowed. So humanity is in a free will zone, or Earth is in a free will zone. Prime Creator said to these extensions of itself, go out and create and bring all things back to me. This was quite a simple assignment, was it not? In other words, Prime Creator was saying, I'm going to gift you of myself. You go out and gift of yourselves freely so that all you create in this universe can understand its essence as my identity. I'll read that part over. Okay. Prime Creator was saying, I'm going to gift you of myself. You go out and gift of yourselves freely so that all you create in this universe can understand its essence as my identity. So God said to other aspects of himself that he created to go out and create and give freely of yourself, which is freely of myself, so that whatever you create will identify itself with God. It's kind of a cool thing when you think about it. if you want to enjoy creation that are built from extensions of yourself. Like you don't know what they'll create, but do you know? You might know, but you wouldn't know any combinations. So you might surprise yourself too. So you're not bored. I'm thinking. Anyways, kind of like when your kids have grandkids, maybe. I always try to put things in like a way that I could understand. Like, they're going to have a human baby, right? Well, right now, who knows what's going to happen if the galaxies work together and we have different galactic races blending. But in this timeline, I know, first of all, you don't know what your baby gonna look like. Like you suspect, you have thoughts about it, but you don't really know how all the genes will come together, right? But you know it will be part of your genes. And then when they have kids. So I'm thinking it's similar to that. Your creations creating, and you're seeing aspects of yourself in different forms. I might be overthinking it. I tend to do that too. Anyways, so these extensions of Prime Creator, which we will call Creator Gods, went out and began to experiment with Prime Creator's energy as it existed within themselves. They began to create their own hierarchy, which in turn created other hierarchies. Each succeeding hierarchy created another hierarchy to endow it with its own essence and to assist in the development of this universe. So generations, hierarchies, generations. Eventually, in one of the galactic systems, a plan came together to design Earth as an intergalactic exchange center of information. So Earth was supposed to be an intergalactic exchange center of information. That's kind of cool to know. Yeah. It was an incredible plan. Earth was a beautiful place located on the fringes of one of the galactic systems and easily reached from other galaxies. It was close to many way portals, the highways that exist for energies to travel throughout space. There was much scurrying and shuffling to create individual representation from all of the galaxies here upon this planet. So all of these other galaxies wanted to contribute to Earth. Some of the creator gods were master geneticists. They were able, through their hierarchies, to tie molecules together, encoded molecules of identity, frequency, and electrical charge to create life. Many sentient civilizations gave of their DNA to have representation of their coding upon this planet. The master geneticists then designed various species, some human, some animal, by playing with the varieties of DNA that the sentient civilizations contributed to make Earth into this exchange center of information. This light center, this living library. So Earth was a living library. This plan for Earth was a grand one. It was a plan. Let's see if they carried out the plan. If the plan actually worked. The original planners of Earth were members of the family of light, beings who worked for and were associated with an aspect of consciousness called light. So this tells me there are different aspects of consciousness. Not all of it is light, but we are the planners of Earth are from that light consciousness. No, because in the last chapter, they say we are of the family of light. So we are of that family of light, that consciousness of light. I never thought that I guess it would make sense as there's more than, there'll be other aspects of consciousness. If God wants to see all he can create, right? Light is information. The family of light created the information center they had conceived of. They designed a place where galaxies would contribute their information and where all would be able to participate and share their specific knowledge. Earth was to be a cosmic library, a place of incredible beauty that experimented with how information could be stored through frequencies and through genetic process. That would mean in our DNA. Also, the song that won, I'm sorry to bring in Trinidad Carnival, but you know, I'm Trini. The song that won Road March, which is the competition for the song that plays the most across the stage when the bands cross the stage, the carnival bands, the costume band, was the song DNA. And he's talking about the Trini DNA, and we have the DNA of freedom, freedom in me DNA. And look, we're talking about DNA here. And I feel it's freedom in the DNA we all have. We all have this gift. Free will, freedom, eh? Anyway, that's just my little take on that. Anyway, let's go ahead. Outside the structure of time, 100,000 years can pass in what may be a year within the structure of time as you know it. These creator gods did not exist in time as you know it. A few 100,000 years or a million years was nothing to them. Different energies were brought into existence. There were species of humans on Earth perhaps 500,000 years ago who developed very highly evolved civilizations. We are not speaking of the civilizations that you call Lemuria or Atlantis. To us, those civilizations were modern. We are talking about civilizations that are ancient, civilizations that are buried under some of the ice caps of the far southern continent of Antarctica. So now they're saying we have ancient civilizations like about 500,000 years old under Antarctica. Well, food for thought, eh? The project of the Living Library on Earth was eventually fought over. They fight for the thing, yes? It looked enticing enough to be owned by some. Ownership, power. Doesn't it always mess up stuff though? Does everything have to be owned? During Earth's early history, there were wars in space for ownership of this planet. Have you ever wondered who owns Earth? It is a prime hunk of real estate. Do you think it would go ownerless in space? Well, skirmishes took place and Earth became a place of duality. Certain creator gods who had the right to do whatever they wanted because Earth is a free will zone came in and took over. We call this raiding the Earth. It was like corporate raiding on Wall Street. These creator gods raided Earth approximately 300,000 years ago. The time period, historically speaking, that you would call the beginning of human civilization. This is merely the time period that you, in this present day, are taught was the beginning of civilization. In actuality, it was only the beginning of the later phase, the phase of modern humanity. When this skirmish occurred, a certain group of entities fought in space and won the territory of Earth. These new owners did not want the native Earth species to humans to be informed what took place. Uninformed, the species would be easier to control. This is why light is information and darkness is lack of information. These entities beat out light and Earth became their territory. It gives you a new idea of light, does it not? There was great radioactivity and nuclear action, and much of the Earth was rent asunder. The original species, human creation, experienced great destruction and was scattered. These new creator gods, who were the new owners, were also master geneticists. They understood how to create life, and they wanted this territory for their own reasons. Territories are created and held by certain energies for many reasons, one of which is that there is consciousness within all things. Consciousness communicates continuously. Consciousness vibrates or can be led to vibrate at certain electromagnetic. Certain electromagnetic frequencies. Electromagnetic energies of consciousness can be influenced to vibrate in a certain way to create a source of food. Just as apples can be prepared and eaten in a variety of ways, consciousness can be prepared and ingested in a variety of ways. Some entities, in the process of their own evolution, began to discover that as they created life and put consciousness into things through modulating the frequencies of forms of consciousness, they could feed themselves. They could keep themselves in charge. They began to figure out that this is how Prime Creator nourished itself. Prime Creator sends out others to create an electromagnetic frequency of consciousness as a food source for itself. The new owners of this planet had a different appetite and different preferences from the former owners. They nourished themselves with chaos and fear. These things fed them, stimulated them, and kept them in power. These new owners who came here 300,000 years ago are the magnificent beings spoken of in your Bible, in the Babylonian and Sumerian tablets, and in texts all over the world. They came to Earth and rearranged the native human species. They rearranged your DNA in order to have you broadcast within a certain limited frequency band, whose frequency could feed them and keep them in power. The original human was a magnificent being whose 12 strands of DNA were contributed by a variety of sentient civilizations. When the new owners came in, they worked in their laboratories and created versions of humans with a different DNA, the two-stranded double helix DNA. They took the original DNA of the human species and disassembled it. The original DNA pattern was left within the human cells, yet it was not functional. It was split apart, unplugged. I would say disconnected. We've been disconnected. Within the human cells are light-encoded filaments, fine gossamer threads of energy that carry information. When these gossamer threads are working together like a cable, the way fiber optics work, they form the helix of your DNA. When you were rearranged, you were left with the double helix. Anything that was unnecessary for survival and that would keep you informed was unplugged, leaving you with only a double helix that would lock you into controllable, operable frequencies. A frequency fence, something like an electrical fence, was put on the planet to control how much the frequencies of humans could be modulated and changed. As the story goes, this frequency fence made it very difficult for the frequencies of light information to penetrate. When light frequencies were able to penetrate the control fence, there was no light to receive them. The human's DNA was unplugged. The light-coded filaments were no longer organized, so the creative cosmic rays that brought light did not have anything to plug into and hold on to. What part do you play in this story? You are members of the family of light. The mere fact that you're reading this book shows that you are family of light. For some of you, this is just like a dream. We are reminding you of what you know inside yourself. We have come into this planet to trigger your memory banks, to inspire the human race through the band of light so that you will begin to remember who you are, to create your own reality, and to alter the frequency on the planet and claim rightful ownership of yourselves in this territory. We as Pleiadians come back through time into what would perhaps be called our past. In the vestige of of representatives of light. We come back in order to share a frequency with you, a frequency that each one of you has agreed to carry on this planet in order to change the DNA of the rearranged human race. This is a big story. It could make headlines, you know. I think they're being funny there. The original planners are not about to lose the territory. Do you think they are going to give up so easily? The original planners began to call on the family of light to go in and infiltrate the project, to incarnate one by one and bring the light as information via creative cosmic rays into the place where it was lost. The family of light began its work here, coming into a system that was devoid of light and devoid of information. By mutating the laws of humanity, these creative cosmic rays began to pierce people's bodies. What are the laws of humanity and how was it mutated? That's what I want to know. Okay, by mutating the laws of humanity, these creative cosmic rays began to pierce people's bodies, individual by individual, then group by group, in very small amounts throughout the eons, were these frequencies of information brought into this planet. At times, great battles were fought to keep out the light or information that was always looking to be expressed. The original planners knew that. Cosmically speaking, this was a lesson for them in allowing, in understanding the creator gods who took their project. The original planners set out to insert their own version of a plan to coincide with a time when the frequency of Earth would be altered, a time when the owners would perish if they could not change their own frequency. Emotions are a source of food. I say it again. Emotions are a source of food. Let me highlight that. Because the other thing was thoughts create, and now we have emotions are a source of food. Remember in chapter 1, we had thoughts create. Now we have emotions are a source of food. Oh gosh, yo, my little book light might fall down. You know, I need a book light. There are those whose food source is love. And the original planners intend to alter the frequency of love of Earth to that love. The current owner's food source of fear, anxiety, chaos, hunger, and despondency must be removed. Guess who is removing this food source? You are. I am. We are. As members of the family of light, you are renegades. You are system busters here to conquer your own fears and to show the rest of the planet that there's no reason to fear anything. Like the fear of not having a job. I feel like this is speaking to me. Yeah. Anyways. Okay, I'm going back to the sentence before. You are system busters, here to conquer your own fears and to show the rest of the planet there's no reason to fear anything. You love to go in and cause trouble. You are famous for going into systems of reality and altering the frequency, thus bringing information. It is not your task as members of the family of light. I don't even know how to pronounce this word. To proselytize. I don't have my phone here. Proselytize. I gotta look up that word. You simply go into systems and act as receptacles. You receive the creative cosmic rays into your bodies, the bodies that you occupy as humans. You are in disguise as humans, and you allow a process to take place. You are coded, and as your memory begins to rise, you will respond to the plan with which you came here to participate to alter the frequencies. You will begin to hold, keep, and maintain a certain frequency, and then to live it. Identity as frequency is the sum total of your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies broadcast as electronic pulsations. As you live your frequency, you affect everyone, every place you go. This is what you're doing now. There are many who already understand their assignment, and there are those whose memories are just beginning to rise. The plan to change the frequency modulation affecting the human species entails the rebundling of your DNA and of the light encoded filaments. The plan is gigantic at this time. Earth is assisting in its own way the evolution of the universe. Earth is where things are happening. It is the hot spot, the place to be. It would make sense why I'm here, you know. It would also make sense why I was born a Trini. We like to be in the middle of everything. I mean, this lifetime, if we have multiple. It is where the plan begins to blossom, and what happens on Earth is going to affect many, many worlds. As members of the family of light, you agreed to come to Earth many times, in many guises, in many different time frames, to learn the ropes, to figure out the character, and to become trained. You needed to experience Earth and to prepare yourself for the time when the frequency alteration would begin to occur, and you would all incarnate in large numbers to bring the plan into action. The family of light everywhere is beginning to unite. You must all focus on what you have in common, not what you do not have in common. As members of the family of light, you bring information to the planet neutrally to stimulate your own growth. Huh? You need to do this, for your own growth affects the growth of the planet. I'm going to read that over because I feel like it's important. Oh my God, the sunset is so gorgeous. I have to say Miami have some gorgeous sunsets, but I'm sure everywhere in the world has gorgeous sunsets. I just really love sunset. It's so, the colors are just so amazing. Okay, so I'm going to read this part over. As members of the family of light, you bring information to the planet neutrally to stimulate your own growth. So neutrally. You need to do this for your own growth affects the growth of the planet. Your DNA will evolve from 2 helixes to 12 helixes. These 12 helixes correspond to energy centers or chakras inside and outside of the body. Millions of you on the planet at this time are on assignment, and you have agreed to carry their frequency to accomplish this. Handfuls of you are becoming impeccable, and these handfuls are affecting the others. Soon you will begin to have great clarity as to who you are and what your assignment is. This process is an incredible evolutionary leap for one to be involved in, and it's going to take place on an accelerated path for the next 20 years. I think this book was written in the 80s or the 90s. There are those who have already received a realignment of the 12 strands of DNA, the 12 helixes. These 12 spiral strands of DNA interact with one another in the body and outside of the body. The connection of the 12 strands means that the 12 energy or information centers can begin to function and send information back and forth to one another. Traditionally, 7 of these centers are located in the body and 5 are located outside of the body. They are commonly known as your chakra centers and are aligned with the spinning of the 12 heavenly bodies that you know of at this time within your solar system. The 12 heavenly bodies that are vibrating as you recognize them in 3D. These 12 heavenly bodies are spinning with information. They spin with the chakra system that go out to the end of the universe, and they spin with the DNA spinning inside your body. I don't know, but I got confused there, so I'm going to read it again. Let me ground myself when I read this part because I got a little confused. Traditionally, 7 of these centers are located in the body and 5 are located outside of the body. They are commonly known as your chakra centers and are aligned with the spinning of the 12 heavenly bodies that you know of at this time within your solar system. The 12 heavenly bodies that are vibrating as you recognize them in 3D. These 12 heavenly bodies are spinning with information. They spin with the chakra systems that go out to the end of the universe, and they spin with the DNA spinning inside your body. Okay. When human DNA begins to rebundle as a 12-strand helix system, and this information is acted upon, there will be incredible power. Individuals, simply by coming together and jointly intending what they want, jointly becoming a telepathic receptacle for energies from all over the cosmos, will change the face of the universe. We call the rebundling process of your DNA a mutation. Once you, as members of the family of light, are able to take this mutation into your bodies, you will be able to integrate your 12 centers of information. You will begin to understand that you create your experiences. You will learn to become conscious creators. More than that, you will become conscious rememberers of who you are. They keep focusing on remembering, so we have to remember. We're supposed to remember these things. But nothing can be forced. The secret to everything I learned the other day was allowance. So watching this other guy, and he was saying, like, if you're efforting too much for stuff, like even like all these little rituals and stuff people are doing in order to reach certain heights of awareness. He was like, what happens is it doesn't allow for it to come true. You just have to allow and enjoy what you're doing. I always go back to this joy thing because I think it's integral. I think joy and following what you like to do is integral for all of this to occur. So if there's rituals that you enjoy doing, then the allowing will naturally happen, right? But if the ritual is just something you're trying to follow through because you just want to get to the end, you want to get the prize at the end of it, then it'll be harder, I think, to get there, right? Just, you got to allow. That's what he was saying. I feel he is correct. But again, you will find out for yourself because this is your own journey and everybody has a different way of enjoying and learning and discovering and divine timing. So maybe, you know, you might like it a little difficult first because you enjoy things that way. Who knows? Anyway, as your 10th, 11th, and 12th chakras begin to open themselves, many off-planet energies will appear in your lives. These energies will occur on this planet as more and more of you hold the higher frequencies. The 10th chakra connects with the solar system. So this will be the planets that revolve around the sun, right? The 11th with the galaxy. Our galaxy is the Milky Way. And then the 12th with a place in the universe. As you hold these frequencies, you will bring information into the planet that will astound and shock most of the world. There will be a merging of identities, a merging of cultures, an infusion of many new world orders. And there will be much chaos and confusion. As members of the family of light, you can simply observe this, knowing that chaos and confusion must come to break down the system so that it can be rebuilt with light. As members of the family of light, you can understand that there is an evolutionary process taking place and that those who can handle the changing frequency by all means will evolve. Earth is an exciting place to be at this time. It is a good plan, is it not? You know what I'm wondering though, because we have 7 and they start at 10. I want to know what 8 and 9 is. I read the book already, so I'm sure I know, but I forgot. So, but 10th is the solar, 11th is galaxy, and 12th is the universe. So that's cool to know. Anyway, that is the end of chapter 2. I cannot believe I read all of it for you. I thought I would have to continue it another day, but I made it. Okay, so chapter 3, I'm not reading today, but it's the name of it is Who Your Gods Are. That should be interesting. Interesting. That should be interesting. Okay. So that's all I have for today. Again, I want to tell you guys how amazing you are. That hopefully following your joy will lead you to aligning to what's for you and knowing more about what you're doing here and why you're here. I got some more clarification the other night. I got some clarification of things I need to clear, of things I'm doing well with, and the next step on my journey. So it was super cool. Of course, it came between that time of night and sleep and wake. But I'm always so grateful for whatever little understandings they give me, whatever little views into the next step is, and understanding where I am in the process. Because sometimes you don't know. So last week I got the understanding of where I was in the process with balancing my divine feminine and my divine masculine and where they were. I think I'm not sure if they are balanced, but I got a clear indication of where it was at that time last week. You know, now that I know that they weren't where they could be, I've been like intending for it to be where it could be, and you know, hoping whatever healing I need to get there occurs naturally, and allowing and not overthinking it. You know, like the understandings will come, like how all the little understandings come. Best way, just enjoying my day, and a little thought come and say, oh, that makes sense. Or, you know, in my sleep break time, a lot of the thing is when I get these things in my sleep break time, at the time it just feels like normal stuff. And then so when I get up, I write it down really quickly because I don't want to forget, because I'll be like, I know I think this is not important, but I'm sure. Like later on, I'll be like, oh, and showing up like as the day progresses, I'm like, oh. So how do you guys get understandings and stuff? I wonder. Anyways, I hope that you have days full of love, where you feel loved, where you are loved, and you are able to be kind to yourself and kind to others, and forgive yourself, forgive others, be understanding of yourself so you can be understanding of others. Speak up for yourself so you can allow others to speak. See the sovereignty in yourself so you can see others' sovereignty. It all starts with you, and then it goes outside. But it all starts with you. You. Anyways, have a great evening. Again, this is Malika from Coco in the Sun podcast. If you guys want to check out the little AI site, hellofriend.chat, please check it out if you need to talk to someone and you don't have anyone to talk to. And have a fabulous, fabulous night. Goodbye.